Mm, mm, mm. That's a motherfucking shame. What up? This is Rafiki Simone. This is the Mystic Circle. Y'all have no idea. I have tried. This is crazy as hell. Wow. So I literally tried like 3, 4 times to get on here, right? And they literally would not let me go live. I had to literally name this video twerk session in order to come live. Fucker, ain't that some shit? It was not letting me go live. I had to literally name my shit twerking session. Twerk session. Ain't that some shit? Bruh. That's how I know what I got to bring to y'all is about to be fire as fuck. But I just want to show y'all some stuff. Again, this is the Behold the Pale Horse book. I had to go back and read the first. Is this the first chapter? I believe so. Yep. Chapter 1. Y'all, y'all already know they about to be fucking with my shit back to back. So I'm gonna try to get this out right. Um, y'all already know this is Behold the Pale Horse book, right? Yeah, L Boogie. Bo, Bo was like, I clicked so fast. Y'all thought I was really going. Oh my god. Y'all know damn well I ain't about to be up in here twerking. The fuck? Let me see. Okay. Yep. This, I read certain parts there. Okay. So this is what I wanted to read to y'all. Okay. This is what I wanted to read to y'all. I got it marked right here, as y'all can see, but I had to go back and mark something. There's a part in this book that I think is one of the most important parts. Okay. I mean, y'all could twerk a late. I ain't against twerking, but you know, I'm just not no dancer. Um, I'm gonna try to read this to y'all as best as to my ability because I want to read it through the actual thing. I'm using my husband's what you call it. But had to find a quiet place. Golden Girl or Golden Goddess. What's going on? Let me go in there and read it. What? Tom Hanks has been arrested in Australia for pedophilia, and Oprah's home in Florida was raided by the feds today. Allegedly, no, I haven't heard this. I haven't heard this. Somebody Instagrammed me that it was like a major bust in Hollywood, allegedly, and that this coronavirus is like, and allegedly the Pope is even gonna be forced to step down or whatever. I mean, we're gonna see. Time gonna tell if this shit is just rumors and people just trying to, you know, get some clout or whatever. We gonna see. But let me read this, okay? The Beauty Ambition. That's what they said. They said what you call it snitched on a whole bunch of people. That's what they say. That's allegedly. TG, I will make that video public. I gotta go back and edit it because there's a part that showed my face. And I gotta go back and edit it. That's why it's private. Scorpio Goddess, that could be the truth. You know, they've been talking about moving to Mars for a very long time now. I don't know why. Underground bunkers, I've heard of that as well. I actually personally know that that shit is real, like underground homes and stuff. I actually visited a bunker years ago of a good, I would say friend, but a good acquaintance of mine's parents, old rich retired people who turned like an old military bunker into like an underground home, and just other stuff. I guess as they got older, they started to kind of like be reclusive, real reclusive, and just really crazy stuff. And I did see one. It was really nice, right? Um, okay, so let me read this. See this economic shock testing. Now, boy, they really trying, ain't they? They are really trying, bro. I haven't heard anybody talk about the Caribbean. I haven't heard anybody talk about Jamaica. Heard anybody talk about Bahamas. I haven't heard anybody talk about Cuba. We don't. Is there any confirmations? You already know how they do me. Oh, I'm gonna keep coming back like a. Listen, I'm gonna keep coming back like these eggs they've been fucking with me with. If that made sense, that didn't make no sense. Okay, so look, economic shock tested. Okay, William Cooper says in recent times, the application of operations research to, excuse me, I got a burp, to the study of the public economy has been obvious for anyone who understands the principles of shock testing. Now, what is shock testing? What does it do, right? In the shock testing of an aircraft airframe, the recoil impulse of firing a gun mounted on that airframe causes shock waves, and that structure, which tells aviation engineers the conditions under which parts of the airplane or the whole airplane or its wings will start to vibrate or flutter like a guitar string, a flute reed, or a tuning fork, and disintegrate or fall apart in flight, right? Well, economic engineers achieve the same results in studying the behavior of the economy and the consumer public by carefully selecting a staple commodity such as beef, coffee, gasoline, or sugar, and then causing a sudden change or shock in its price or availability, thus kicking everybody's budget and buying habits out of shape. This is where I'm at right here. You said you're from St. Thomas? One case, but it was a scare. Mm, mm, mm. I'm reading y'all stuff. This is Behold a Pale Horse. Y'all, when y'all see somebody come in the comment section asking what this book is, y'all please put it Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. I don't want to have to keep repeating myself over and over again. Some of y'all are not even, some of y'all are just coming in, and then some of y'all are just honestly not listening until something strikes y'all. I don't want to have to keep saying it over and over again. It's to Behold a Pale Horse. Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. Okay. So then it says, they then observe the shock waves which result by monitoring the changes in advertising, prices, and sales of that and other commodities. Now, watch this. This is very, very important right here. The objective of such studies is to acquire the know how to set the public economy into a predictable state of motion or change, even a controlled self destructive state of motion, which will convince the public that certain expert people should take control of the money system and reestablish security rather than liberty and justice for all. Mm. When, yes, I'm reading like a Baptist pastor. I don't give a fuck. When the subject citizens are rendered unable to control their financial affairs, they, of course, become totally enslaved, a source of cheap labor. Remember, I was breaking it down to y'all yesterday in the video that I got to go back and fix and edit so I can re-put it up there. And hopefully it doesn't mess with the actual date that it was filmed. Remember, I told y'all that it's easier for the United States, these large companies here in the United States, to go hire Ling Ling and Chung Lee and Wu Tang, right? It's easier for them to go over there and create slave shops and sweatshops for pennies on the dollars versus me having to hire Junebug, Lisa, Bobby, and Sue for $24 an hour, right? Okay. So y'all are getting it. One world currency. New world currency. Yep. You said it makes me wonder if these deities that the U.S. and secret societies in the U.S. got this slave knowledge from the what? Thank you, Cinnamon, for posting it. Wait, they fucking with the live heavy, y'all. They doing it heavy. If they suspend debit credit cards, they will make us use their implanted microchips to pay for goods. Yeah. Yep. Visa. I mean, but the mark of the beast, the chip system, the mark of the beast and the chip system been in play, y'all. It's been in play. It's been in play. The dawning when they started to use the UPC codes and the barcodes on the back of any, you know. Okay, here we go. Y'all just gotta stay with me. Okay. So yeah, whenever you got like, you know, a UPC code, ISBN number, that type of stuff, they have already implemented that the they say mark of the beast or whatnot. It's been into play, right? It's been into play. They're suspending the credit card now. Your sisters was informed this morning. Because think about it, they got the idea from slavery. That's crazy. Okay, so remember, it says that if people are unable to control their affairs, they of course become totally enslaved, which turns the citizens into a source of cheap labor, right? Now it's going to go into detail and tell you why, but let me just kind of like pose different questions, right? Just to have some multi-log and see where your mindset is. So if the stock markets crash and there's a financial reset and all this other stuff, and they're saying, you know what, you know, this stock market crash was so severe that we have to come up with a new one world currency to protect everybody. So what we need to do now is take away everybody's different types of whatever. And now what we're going to do is translate even the funds in your bank account into whatever this new currency is, and this is going to be the equivalency of this, and this is what we're calling it, and whatever. And you don't worry about cash because you're not going to have cash or whatever. Don't worry about your old dollars. Your old dollars will mean nothing, right? Or what you can do is actually, if you have money and cash in your wallets, on your purse, just go to your local bank, turn it in, and they'll actually put the number amount into your bank account, and they're going to shred and burn this money, and that way you can get. You see what I'm saying? Of course, your birth certificate is. Of course, your social security number is as well. Right? So, this is what I'm saying. They're saying that if people become self-destructive, right, in a state of motion, which convinces the public that a certain expert or experts of people should take control. They're saying, oh my gosh, shit gets so chaotic that they're looking for any savior. They don't give a fuck who it is. Anybody that's speaking some form of we can go back to normal, right? Okay. So look, not only the prices of commodities, but also the availability of labor can be used as the means of shock testing. Labor strikes deliver excellent test shocks to an economy, especially in the critical service areas of trucking, which is transportation, communication, public utilities, which is energy, water, garbage collection, etc. Now, let me explain something to y'all about logistics, right? Which is the trucking industry. I don't think y'all understand how important the trucking industry is. A lot of y'all see these 18 wheelers on the road coming and going from whatever places they're coming and going from, carrying whatever they have in the back of that, right? And a lot of us, we kind of get a little bit annoyed because they're big, they're supposed to move slow, but when they go fast, they go fast. They can be very dangerous. We get it. But let me explain something to y'all. If the trucking industry shuts down, even in a 24 to 48 hour period, the whole entire country will feel it, because this is how your goods that you get off of the shelves in the grocery stores get to you, right? That is one of the most important things. So this trucking industry is a very underrated industry. It's a lot of money to be made in that industry, but I'm telling you right now, it is whew, right? Says by shock testing, it is found that there is a direct relationship between the availability of money flowing in an economy and the psychological outlook and response of masses of people dependent upon that availability. Is it by accident that this wave of this so-called coronavirus is happening, and it's now all of a sudden, quote unquote, causing the financial stock markets to crash, right? And it just seems like the world is all shot to shit all at the same time, right? Right now we're getting ready to move in the timing of Aries, which means there's going to be a lot of warfare going on in the spiritual realm. I'm just letting you know that, right? I know this stuff is crazy, but I just want to let y'all know that, you know, this is where it's heading. I told y'all, hold on. Y'all hold on to me. Hold on to me. Yeah, it's getting bad. This buffering is worse than yesterday. Because I went straight into it. I'm not playing, right? But let me do like I did yesterday. Pussy, weed, hoes, cars, clothes. Pussy, weed, hoes, cars, clothes. Drop it, drop that ass hot for a poke chop. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see how far we gonna get. Bitch, stop talking that shit. Let a nigga fuck for her outfit. Ibby, 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 ibby. Pussy, 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 pussy. Put that eggplant right in there, coochie, coochie. Put that eggplant right in there, ooty, ooty. Get that cucumber oil, get the cucumber oil. Hit the monkey on a stick, a monkey on a stick. Maybe twerk, 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 twerk it, twerk, 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 twerk. Uh-huh. You see? Twerk it, twerk it, twerk it, twerk it, twerk. Stick that ass out, stick that ass out, stick that ass out, stick that ass out, stick it like a table hold up, like a table hold. Let me put the drink on that bitch table hold on. Bop, bop, baby, bop, baby, but you see? Both say, why am I dancing? And then y'all gotta remember, too, while I'm saying this, remember now, while I'm saying this, I still got the video on here. So it could be still cutting off because I ain't move away from this book yet. Remember yesterday when I did that shit completely stopped. I didn't have a book or nothing in sight. You remember now. Now this can be still setting it off. But them hoes, jiggity jiggity pop, pop, pop. His story. You late. You're a day late and a dollar short, bitch. Get the fuck off my live. I am a smart lady, but I'm trying to show my people how to be fucking with my life. And when I'm talking about nonsense and bullshit, my shit don't get disrupted. That's what I was trying to show. For those of you who was on here yesterday, know that that was the truth. I proved it point and clear yesterday. I just didn't have this shit on a book. That's the only difference. Hey, Brittany. Okay, let's get back into this, right? Okay, now let's see. Y'all just gonna hold on because we're gonna go. Now, this is what they said, right? By shock testing, it's found that there is a direct relationship between the availability of money flowing in an economy and the psychological outlook and response of masses of people dependent upon that availability of that money, right? So, for example, there is a measurable quantitative relationship or quantitative relationship between the price of gasoline and the probability that a person would experience a headache, feel a need to watch a violent movie, smoke a cigarette, or go to a tavern for a mug of beer, right? It is most interesting that by observing and measuring the economic modes by which the public tries to run from their problems and escape from reality, and by applying the mathematical theory of operations research, it is possible to program computers to predict the most probable combination of created events. Sound familiar? When you're conversating with some of your people and you're talking about, girl, you seen them new Nikes? Girl, you seen them new Nikes? And then your ass looking up Sesame Street on YouTube and the ad is saying, hey, won't you cop those new Nikes right there from Foot Locker? And you like, what? And it seems like to you that your device has been listening to your conversation. This man been talking about this shit since the 80s. You hear what I'm telling you? The name for it is algorithm. But the other name is talking about eavesdropping by way of computerization. Okay? It is possible to program computers to predict the most probable combination of created events, which is shocks, which will bring out a complete control and subjugation of the public through a subversion of the public economy by what? Shaking the plum tree. And I'm here to tell y'all people, whatever can be shaken is being the fucking shaken. Period. Period. It's called Introduction to Economic Amplifiers, right? It says the simplest form of an economic amplifier is a device called advertising, right? Watch this. Look. Let me show y'all. This man wasn't playing. It says if a person is spoken to by a TV advertiser as if he were a 12-year-old, then due to the suggestibility, he will, with a certain probability, respond or react to that suggestion with the uncritical response of a 12-year-old and will reach into his economic reservoir and deliver its energy to buy the product on impulse when he passes it in the store. You know what the new amplifier is? And it has been since social media has been on the rise? Influencers. These people who are on Instagram looking like they got their lives together and is living a best life and really is hired to do stealth advertisement. Still, stealth advertisement has always been a thing since the 1930s, actually. I think it was it was like right, or is it during the Great Depression when they were trying to recover the economics on their own? When advertisement was to stimulate the minds of people to buy to get the economy back up. Do you hear what I'm telling y'all? Jesus. Y'all, The example that Hollywood gave to y'all was in the movie called The Joneses. And then we found out that people were so busy trying to keep up with the Joneses, they did not realize that the Joneses didn't even own what they were advertising. Ain't that about a bitch? Oh, shit. I don't know who I'm talking to, but y'all gonna get it. Y'all may be like Infinite Water say, y'all may have to be the cat down the road to get it, but you say it's gonna click one day. If it don't click tonight, it's gonna click some other day. Therefore, economic amplifiers not only deliver power gain, but also in effect are used to cause changes in the economic circuitry. In the designs of an economic amplifier, we must have some ideas of at least 5 functions, which are the available input signals, the desired output control objectives, the strategic objective, the available economic power sources, the logistical options, right? And this is called game theory. What is the short list of inputs, right? Questions to be answered. We know we've been taught this: the what, the who, the when, the where, the how, and the why. Y'all remember that? Now we getting somewhere. General sources of this information. Who's the who? What's the what? When, where, how, and why, right? So let's go down. Let's go back to this. Number 1 is what? Let's do the who, right? Who is Susie Q? Who, what? Susie Q bought tennis shoes. Yesterday is the when. Where? At Walmart. How? With cash or credit card. Why? Because she felt like she needed the shoes. Do you see? Now watch this. How did they get that information? In these days, it was phone taps, surveillance, analysis of garbage. Look what I put. Looking for habits. Behavior of children in school. Oh, you didn't think they was watching you? Through the kids? Let me tell you what this analysis of garbage is. Okay? And they still do that to this day. I want to see what Susie Q buys on a monthly basis, on a month-to-month basis for the next 2 to 5 years. Every month, I'm going to collect every bag of trash. Every day, every other day, however long she takes out the trash. And I'm going to do this. And I'm going to put it in a pile for the 30 days. And each pile is going to have however so much she throws away for each 30 days of the month. Right? Till I get piles for each month. Okay? That equals 12. Okay? I'm going to break them things open and I want to see what's the most consistent. Okay, I see Susie Q. She buys batteries every fucking month. There's something in her house that is using batteries and it's useful to her. So she keeps buying double A's because I keep seeing Duracell and the knockoff brands and versions. Do you understand where I'm coming from? No, it's not the Bible. It's called Behold the Pale Horse by William. Okay, we back. So watch this. Standard of living. What's your standard of living? Food, clothing, shelter, transportation. That's top 4. Social context. Guess what? Telephone, itemized record of calls, marriage certificates, birth certificates, etc. Friends, associates, etc. Memberships in organizations, if you have any. Political affiliations. Does this sound familiar? Where do they get this information from? The United States Census. Knocking on your door, door to door. Who you got living with your hell? We don't know. The personal paper trail. Personal buying habits. Personal consumer preferences. Do you know that you can get one consumer report on yourself a year? Have you gotten your consumer report? You didn't think they was keeping them tabs on you, but they are, baby. Checking accounts, credit card purchases, tagged credit card purchases, the credit card purchases of products bearing the UPCs, which is a universal product code. What is assets? Here we go. Checking accounts, saving accounts, real estates, businesses, automobiles, safety deposit boxes at banks, stock markets. What is your liabilities, right? Creditors, legal loans, consumer credits, right? What is the government sources or ploys, right? Welfare, Social Security, USDA surplus food, doles, grants, subsidies, right? Principle of this ploy is that the citizen will almost always make the collection of information easy if he can operate on the free sandwich principle of eat now and pay later. This is the ploys. What does it mean? Did you hear what I just said? I'm going to read that again for some of us who didn't get it. I'm going to make sure you can see it. The principle of government sources. Oh my God. Somebody going to get it. Somebody going to get it. The principle of government sources, right, is that the citizen will make the collection of information of their household easy if they know they can live off the hog, live high off on the hog, which is eat now, pay later. Two types of pains, y'all, in this world. Pain that hurts and pain that brings change. If this is painful to y'all, I'm hoping that it brings change. I'm just letting you know. I've told y'all this before several times. I've said this last year and I've said this the year before last. And I'm gonna tell y'all, if y'all go back into my timelines of my what you call it, maybe y'all can find it, because I don't know. I've done so many videos, but I've always told y'all that if y'all are on Section 8, y'all on food stamps, please be pinching money to put on the side, because eventually you're going to have to get off, because I'm telling you, this even the shit that we're in right now is making it hard. It's making it hard. It's making it hard. Right? What is the government sources that they use via intimidation? IRS, OSHA, census, etc. Right? Habit patterns, which is the programming aspect. Strengths and weaknesses. What is your activity? Sports, hobbies, right? Crime records, hospital records, psychiatric records, if they are there. Methods of coping or adaptability. What do you do? In other words, what is your vice? Do you drink alcohol? Do you do drugs? Is entertainment? Is sex? Religious factors, right? Other methods of escaping from reality. What is your payment modus operandi? Your MO. What is it? What do you pay on time? What do you try to pay on time? Payment of telephone bills, energy purchases, water purchases, repayment of loans, house payments, automobile payments, payments on credit cards, right? What is your political sensitivity? What is your political beliefs? What is your positions? Are you right wing or are you left wing? Not realizing you belong to the same fucking bird. Kind of shit is that? Projects and activities, legal inputs, court records, police records. What's your driving record? Reports made to police, insurance information, anti-establishment acquaintances. What is your national input information? Prices of commodities and sales. This is via IRS. Investments in stocks and bonds, right? What is your bank and credit bureau's issues? What's your credit card information? What is your credit information? What's your credit score? And do you hear what I'm saying to you? I've been seeing 44 and 444 a lot. Sebian, Satribian, yes. Okay, here we go. Do you hear that? Now, this is the inputs. But what is the short list of outputs? Outputs create controlled situations, right? Manipulation of the economy, hence society gets controlled by the controllers of compensation, right? So this is what they do. They allocate opportunities, they destroy opportunities, control the economic environment, they control the availability of raw materials, they control capital, they control the bank rates, they control inflation of the currency, they control the possession of property, controls industrial capacity. Let me go back to number 8. Because a lot of us, and I used to say this, all the time. Rent was a waste of space. Renting was like a trap hole that leads your money to nowhere. I used to say that all the time. But you know what? Renting actually may not be as bad depending on your financial situation. Because this is what I understand. Even though your house can be paid in full, if you do not know the legal lingo that would be able for you to legally get your house, even after you pay for it in full, tax free, right? If you do not understand the legal lingo, which is putting your house in a trust, and it's a type of trust that you would have to put your house in order for it to get tax free, where you ain't got to pay taxes on your house, right? So going through all of this stuff, if you don't pay taxes on even your paid out house, paid in full house, they can seize the shit, right? You have to understand that in times of war, they can legally hold your house hostage and set it up as a interchanging place for soldiers to come in there and bathe and eat and all of that shit. Did you know that? In times of war, they can literally knock on your, if they say, okay, this house is sitting on a really good embankment. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna seize the house. Oh my God, do y'all not hear? Have you read your Constitution? Have you read your Bill of Rights? Have you read the amendment? Go and read it. You read it in school. Go back. They told you during times of war they can do this. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So number 8, controls the possession of property. It may not be so bad after all when you paying that rent. Some places you ain't got to pay your water because the place where you live at will pay it for you. Do you know when you get a house, you got more? Listen, you know when you are in an apartment, if your water heater breaks or something breaks, they got to pay for that. But guess what? When you in a house, you got to pay for that shit. Something breaks, you the one who got. So listen, you can't always say, "Oh, this person is in a bad place because they live in an apartment." You just listen. Sometimes it's better. Do what you can afford. You know, do what you can afford. Um, Controls industrial capacity. Y'all see that? That's what's happening. Controls manufacturing. This is what's happening. Controls the availability of goods. This is number 11, the commodities, right? Controls the prices of commodities. This is the price gouging that we're seeing. And why is America flipping out as if price gouging has never happened? But you see, let me explain to y'all how and this is gonna hurt some folks because some of y'all ain't gonna like what I'm getting ready to say because see, it's gonna hit home. Like I said, if it hurts, say ouch. If it don't hurt, say amen. But let me tell you, some of these people in America have been so spoon fed, and they think the whole earth is supposed to bow down when they walk their ass outside every day in the morning. But let me explain something to y'all. Okay, let me explain something to y'all. The problem is that people like me from the South who had to deal with hurricanes almost every fucking year when they was growing up, or badass weather and all this other shit, and we had to have a lockdown and couldn't go nowhere because now that the hurricane that made landfall. Let me explain something to people like you, coming from people like me. We understand that price gouging, they've always done that shit to us in the South. Have they not? Went up on the gas right before you was trying to evacuate? Have they not went up on the price of water and bottled water? Come on now, y'all. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. We've been dealing with price gouging for a long time. That's how they've been doing us like that. Y'all just now experienced this shit. Get the fuck over it. Because guess what? When you heard it on the news that there was price gouging the low income black people who had to out this fucking hurricane and shit, and majority of the folks was black, and yeah, a little bit of the white folks got it too. You know why? Because they always gonna sacrifice some of their own to make a fucking point to those who they call minorities. Now the whole United States is feeling that price gouging shit. Now it's a problem. I'm gonna report you. See, a lot of y'all will sit back and say, "Oh well, as long as there's peace and safety in my day, like that king in the Bible." Well, guess what? Not happening to your ass. You want a difference to be made. See. It ain't funny when it's you, nah, huh? 13, control services, the labor force, jobs, etc. Number 14, controls payments to government officials. 15, controls the legal functions, controls personal data files, uncorrectable by the party slandered. 17, controls advertising. 18, controls media contact, controls material available for TV viewing, disengages attention from real issues, disengages attention from real issues, disengages attention from real issues. This coronavirus been playing on the hour, on every hour, every day. And we, guess what, have not been hearing what has been going on with Iraq and Iran. That's right, Jared. It ain't that fun when the rabbit got the gun, baby. You right about that. Number 21, engages emotions. Why does it say engages emotions as an output, as a means of manipulation? Because people, I said this the other day, people don't think straight when they are in fear. Number 22, creates disorder, chaos, and insanity. Insanity. I said insanity, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Insanity. Y'all see number 22 right here. Creates disorder, chaos, and insanity. Is that not happening now? 23, controls designs of more probing tax forms. Controls surveillance. Controls the storage of information. Develops psychological analyses. Not analysis. It says it might be analysis, but analysis. Okay, y'all see that might be the UK version of that word. And profiles of individuals, right? Controls legal functions. That's the repeat of 15. Controls psychological factors. Controls health options. Preys on weaknesses. Cripples strengths. Leeches wealth and substance, right? The table of strategies. So this is what they do, right? They do this. They keep the public ignorant to get less public organization. This man was a genius when he did this book. They maintain access to control points for feedback so they can require reaction to outputs, which is prices and sales. You hear this? They create preoccupation to lower defenses. They attack the family unit to take control of the education of the young. Do you see that? This is the problem when he was talking about governmental assistance. And at first, when I read this, I was like, okay, I'm feeling like this man is maybe borderline racist, but I'm not, because I knew he was a hardcore Christian. But then I had to say, he's right. And it doesn't matter what color you are, but this is what he was saying. He says they attack the family unit. Oh my God. To take control of the education of the young. We have been missing the point for decades. What is the point? Watch this. I'm about to say something very important, something you've been knowing, but I'm going to make it hit home for you right now. You ready? It was never about your parents. It was always about us when we were kids. It was never about your grandparents. It was about snatching the minds of their offspring. You were what they were aiming for all along. And because your parents allowed, watch this, society to grow so toxic to the degree that now both of the parents have to leave the household in order to make some form of normal income to barely be able to take care of the house, so that they can leave you alone, so that the streets and the television can raise you. Oh, God, help me. So it went from somebody staying home and being a homemaker, whether it was mother or father, because we know we had some strong men that were staying home while the woman was going to work. And ain't nothing wrong. I don't believe that there's nothing wrong with that. Do you hear what I'm telling you? This man just sat here and said, I got goosebumps. In our face, he just said that they attacked the family unit to gain control of the education of the young. In other words, it was never about your parents. It was about your ass, your little ass when you were small. And guess what? Now that we grown, my star seeds from the 70s and 80s, my indigo people from the 70s and 80s. Now we didn't birth babies. And now they got to deal with 100 times worse than what we had to. You know why? Because we didn't have social media. We were still able to go and play outside and make mud pies and shit. Am I lying? Or am I telling the truth? Now these kids don't know what it looked like to go play outside, barely even on recess. Did you hear what I just said? Even on recess in school, they barely know what it means to play outside. Oh, help me, y'all. Just help me just a little bit. I'm trying to help somebody. They will do this. They will give less cash and more credit in dolls. Why? To get more self-indulgence and more data. They will attack their privacy. They will attack the privacy of the church. This is what he's saying. But I also want to say they will attack the privacy of the people, right? Why? To destroy faith in this sort of government, but even to destroy faith in humanity. Social conformity. Why would they do that? To get this, computer programming simplicity. Make everybody relying on some form of technology, right? They will maximize control to get minimum resistance to control. They will collapse. Watch this one. This is an important one. They will collapse the currency. Why? To destroy the faith of the American people in each other. This is happening. What is the diversion of the primary strategy? Experience has proven that the simplest method of securing a silent weapon and gaining control of the public is to keep the public undisciplined and ignorant of basic system principles on one hand, while keeping them confused, disorganized, and distracted with matters of no real importance on the other hand. The general rule is that there is profit in confusion. The more confusion, the more profit. Therefore, the best approach is to create problems and then offer solutions. Let me explain. And this is what I put: crisis capitalism. Let me say this to y'all because I don't think y'all understand how important this is. Apparently, there was word that Bill Gates stepped down from Microsoft. I asked y'all a question the other day. I'm gonna ask it again. If a billionaire steps down from a multi-billion-dollar corporation, what would make them step down from that multi-billion-dollar company? More money. What makes more money than the tech industry? The medical field. If you merge the two together, what do you get? A demonic presence. Power under the wrong hands is a disaster for the world. Power under the right hands is healing and unity. Okay. Um, Let me also say this. Remember they used to say the hand that rocks the cradle rocks the world, right? Or rules the world. Hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. This shit ain't over yet, y'all. This shit ain't over yet. It is you need to question whether you want to trust a person who holds, or let me put it like this in the form of this question. Let me put it like this in the form of a question. Would you be comfortable with trusting the person who holds the disease and the cure? Here, this is a loaded question. Would you be comfortable with trusting the person who has the patent and the starting point of the disease and the cure? Hear what I just said? Huh. You said, but who been rocking the cradle? That's for everybody to find out. Hmm. This book is called Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper. I know it's coming in phases. Oh, okay. This is coming in phases. Yeah. Yep. I wouldn't either. Because the person who created a medical disruption and has the cure for it, that's a person who's been playing this game all along. You know what, Candace? I was wondering about that too. That man came across my mind too. Okay. Um, let's see. This man even goes into detail as to saying that people want a human God. Mm. Ooh, ooh. Look what this man just said. He says, look at the responsibility of the people, right? Most people want to be free to do things, right? To explore, but they are afraid to fail. The fear of failure is manifested in irresponsibility, and especially in delegating those personal responsibilities to others, where success is uncertain or carries possible or created liabilities, which means law, which the person is not prepared to accept. They want authority, which is the root word author, but they will not accept responsibility or liability. So they have to hire politicians to face reality for them. That is some deep shit. Ooh, damn. And do you know he kept using, even through this, he would use another word for nation is womb, which is matrix. I believe the word matrix is like 6 to 9 times in the Bible. I think it's 9 times in the Bible. And when you look it up, you see that it means womb, right? That's why I put the word matrix right there. Because the word womb actually means the matrix is the Hebrew word for womb. That's what it says unplug from the matrix, which means to unplug from this nation's system, right? Giving birth to yourself. That's some deep shit when you think about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Trying to see. To secure the trap, individual brainwashing, programming in both the family unit and the peer group must be engaged. Damn. Mm. Okay, so this is what I like, right? So he ends because chapter one, he gets deep really fast and he does not hold no bars, right? He doesn't, there's no bars held on this motherfucker. He don't care, right? So this is where he starts talking. William Cooper talks, okay? And this is him from his own words. He says, so after all of this, he explains it to you and breaks down. He says, so now you know, this chapter could only come in the beginning. Your preconceived ideas had to be shattered in order for you to understand the rest of this book. In this chapter, you can see every step that the elite has taken in order that their wars to control. No. Let me go back. In this chapter, you can see every step that the elite have taken in their war to control this once great nation. Okay, it says you can see the steps that will be taken in the future. You can no longer pretend innocence. Whatever, we're gonna keep it moving. It says you can no longer pretend innocence. Okay. This is the book, y'all. This is the author. Okay. This is what he's saying. Y'all can no longer pretend innocence, right? Your denial of the conspiracy will fall on deaf ears. This book is a part that will give Americans the weapons needed in the coming months and years of hardship as the New World Order struggles to be born. Many will argue that Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars is only a bogus conglomeration of words for which the writer has never taken credit or responsibility. Those who do so ignore the self-evident truths contained within this document, right? They ignore these because they are an indictment, of their own ignorance, which they cannot face. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying to read it through this thing, and I'm gonna have to put this on the side and read because now I'm starting to sound illiterate. So I'm just gonna put it like this so I can get out my way. The document, first found in 1969, correctly outlines events which subsequently came to pass. I'm just gonna put it like this, but I'm gonna put it down so I can see. It cannot be ignored or dismissed, right? The document is genuine. Its truths cannot be negated or shrugged away. This message is this. Let me make sure y'all with me. Let me make sure y'all with me. Oh, oops. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Guess what? Oh, there we go. About to say they had took away my thing to even turn the camera. Okay, so hold on. You reading it along with me? Good. Good. This is what it says. The message is this. You must accept that you have been cattle and the ultimate consequence of being cattle, which is slavery, or you must prepare to fight. And if necessary, die to preserve your God given right to freedom. That last sentence is the real people chose to ignore silent weapons for quiet wars. People are not ready to admit that they have been cattle. They're not prepared to fight and, if necessary, die for freedom. It is an indictment or indictment of the of the citizens of the United States of America. And this is the total confirmation of the truth of the information contained in Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. This is page 65. See that? This is some deep. This is chapter 2. And I went through this. As y'all can see, I got notes. Right? I went through this. Right? Let me show y'all some more. This is deep. I know, Jordan. You like my title? Well, I had to do that because if you look at the beginning of this video, Sister Moon, you would see that I tried to come on live like 4 or 5 times, 3, 4, 5 times. And the titles that I was using, it wasn't even letting me come on the live. So I had to go and put twerking session or some shit. And then it finally let me come on. It's like, what the fuck? Jesus. Let's see. Allegedly, so this part, the secret societies in the New World Order. There's a part in here. I don't know if it's in this one or the one after this. I think it might be in this one. But he tells a story about a man who allegedly was a gasser for the Nazis during World War II. Okay. And he talks about how this man moved away. he was running for his life, I guess, or trying to change his life around after he was an alleged gasser. This is what he's saying in this book. And then he says that this man ran to the Roman Catholic Church, got like quote unquote canonized or like entered into the Pope or whatever, and became Pope John Paul II. This is what this man is saying in here. Okay. That's what he's saying. So he's saying that this is who Pope John Paul II was before he ran his ass to the Roman Church hiding. It's crazy. I was just like, this. That's why I see this man is dead. This motherfucker went deep. He went deep. And allegedly, this is supposed to be what, the second. It doesn't tell me which. It doesn't tell me if this is a second edition. I guess this is the only edition. But I was told that they might have taken something out and then let it go back on, because there was so many conspiracy theories, right? Because it says copyright 1991, but this was actually originally published in 1985 or 1980 something. So this actually is older. This book is older than the actual copyright. Okay? No, he's not. He's dead. He's dead. Yeah, this is the re-release. I have a family member that has the old one, that has the old book. Yeah. And I purposely did not ask for it. I didn't want the old book. I wanted this one. Here we go. Really? Yeah. Yeah, there is an altered version. You're right, Bo. Let's see, chapter 2. Chapter 3 is this one. You see what this says right here? And then this goes like she's telling him what this was, right? And it ends right there. Secret Treaty of, right? This is a short one. You see that? Very short. Then it goes into this. This is the one that I'm on right now. This is the one that I'm on right now. Because I'm taking my time and I'm going back and through. I'm going through this book to it's my bookmark. Going through this book to highlight what speaks out to me. Scorpio 16, yes it does. I'm talking about this. Yeah, this is the trilateral connection. I have the photo. That's how I know I got the good book. I got the good one, because the new one does not have this in the back. The one that they stole information out of doesn't have this in the back. Bill is a nickname for William, just like the name Bob is short for Robert. I don't know how we get that, but yeah. Yeah, my book. Yeah, I know Scorpio 16. Yeah, I do have the authentic book. Because the one that they took stuff out of does not even have this in here. When you got this at the very back of the book, you know you got the good copy. Okay. And he breaks all this shit down. Who's the who? This man said, before they tried to discredit me, I'm gonna come out with receipts, bitch. This nigga wasn't playing. Yes, Scorpio 16. Make sure you got that fold out in the back if you're gonna buy this book. Now you might get the book that looks just like this and may find that is gone. Please check and make sure that you fold this back enough to make sure to see if they had actually taken it out. Okay, because you might actually be getting the correct book, but somebody could have actually tore this out. Okay, this is all right to have, but as long as everything else in the book remains, it's not a big deal to make a big deal about this being torn out in the back, especially if you're buying it from online and you're buying it used. Okay, as long as everything else is in here, I think you're all right. You're all right. Okay. Um, let's see. I'm just trying to see what all he got in here. This is weird. Y'all see that? Okay. He has let's look at some of his receipts because he got most of his receipts in the back. Let's see which one is this. Let's see. Something about psychiatrists. Department of Health, New York State. Federal Express. New York Health. Let's see. I'm gonna find a good one. Yes, Teeny. You love the way I turn the pages? Oh my god. Yeah, that's that ASMR, right? Approved by people was in Dallas. Oh damn. Okay. Let's see. I like stuff like this. Okay. So this was like out of the they call that newspaper. Report links CIA, Pan Am bombing. That's what it says right here. Lawmaker alleged drug deal resulted in disaster. Oof. That's some cold-blooded shit. Then news clippings. Ex-CIA agent says diary referring to Kennedy assassination is a hoax, right? And then he has the register right here. Then he goes, da, 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 da. Bruh. And then so I see what you're saying. The one that was my sister that's saying stuff like this, and then he comes to say what was not a hoax and different things like that. Damn, I got to read this. I gotta read this. Cocaine seized on Air Force plane. Damn. Wait. Y'all see that? Remote island drug prisons part of plan in defense. Remote islands drug prisons. Wow. Summoning visions of a modern day Devil's Island. Congress is considering a plan to imprison drug law offenders on isolated and shark surrounded islands in the Pacific Ocean. Supporters of the plan say it would help ease prison overcrowding and, as a bonus, help reduce the defense budget by using inmate labor for maintenance work on remote U.S. military outposts. But critics say the proposal harkens back to a more brutal era of punishment in which inmates were carted off to places like Devil's Island, the infamous French penal colony off the coast of South America that was closed in 1938. Damn. Mm, 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 mm. Let me see. Then it says, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard, said Lawrence Siegel of the American Civil Liberties Union. Deporting people to do slave labor on an island far out in the ocean is cruel and unusual punishment. Under the plan, U.S. outposts on World War II battlegrounds of Midway and Wake Island, tiny coral atolls would be convinced into penal colonies for Americans who are convicted of drug related felonies. Wow, the proposal is tucked away in an obscured section of the 283 billion defense authorization bill that is now being debated by the House of Representatives. A four-paragraph section of the voluminous bill approved by the House what armed service. This shit is very small. Armed services. I ain't got my glasses either. Committee on July 31st asked the Pentagon to study the feasibility of island drug prisons and report back to the Congress by next March. So when was this? What day was it? Right here. Wednesday, September 19th, 1990. Damn. Mm-mm-mm. Go to Barnes and Noble. They at least Barnes and Noble. I noticed that Barnes and Noble at least try to have at least one book of Behold the Pale Horse by William Cooper on there. Let me see. Yeah, this is page. Oh, you said page 366. Check out page 444. Let me see. Oh, let's see. I like this. Look at that. I used to always say America needs to be divorced. That bitch need a break. uh, I used to always say that. Hold on. You said 444 and 366. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Let's go to 444. 444. I'm telling you, that's been. And look, my hand went right to it. Actually. I see where you're going. 366. Remind me, Scorpio 16, page 366. Texas locking down Austin on Wednesday. Yep, locking down the whole country. Mm-hmm. Your lockdown starts Wednesday. Reveal secret plan to tag every man, woman, and child. No sleep diet keeps you wide awake. Damn. Have y'all ever heard this song by Lupe Fiasco called Streets on Fire? Y'all need to go and listen to that. I think that man was prophetically talking. Either that or he just knew some shit like Prince did when he said Osama bin Laden getting ready to bomb and ain't no damn bomb dropped. When we all know what that really was about. I ain't gonna go there because it's just not the time. Coded micro. Okay, so this shit is extra tiny. So this is extra tiny. Let me see. I know it's showing up really good on here, but I really can't see this shit in real life. So let me just see if I can use it like this. I can't really read past all of the chat room stuff. So I'll just try to move it over here. Coded microchips implanted in every person in the country would tie all of us into a mass computer that would track everyone down at any moment, and plans for such a system are already underway, whether you like it or not. This thing looks really huge, but it's very tiny when you got the book. It is very, very, very tiny when you have the book. Let's see. The secret scheme is being touted as a service for the protection of the people by high government officials. Some insiders who object to the move say it's just another way for Big Brother to control. It's what? It's um I can't see that small. That shit is small. I need to get my glasses. Well, you can see it. Just a bit. Wait. Dallas starts tonight at midnight. Damn. Department of Defense appropriations for 1970 United States. Da, 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 da. Okay. You said 366, right? ID tag that won't get lost. Damn. Let's see. You said 366. Let's see. Ooh, went right to it too. Good. Hmm. Oh, the Temple of Set. Yeah. It says the Temple of Set is a satanic group under the leadership of Michael A. Aquino. It is a splinter spin-off group from Anti-LaVey's Church of Satan in San Francisco. They separated from LaVey's organization when that organization was undergoing a metamorphosis in 1975. It is a small group, but nonetheless has several hundred members and operates on a national level. Aquino is the official head of the organization. Let's see. He has a note right here to say Order of the Trapezoid. Wow. Trapezoid is a fucking coffin, one of those, trapezoid is the shape of those they bury those coffins in they bury the popes in those coffins that's shaped like a trapezoid, but the trapezoid actually in sacred geometry, the shaping of a trapezoid, which looks like Count Dracula coffin, like the old coffins, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so six-sided, right? um it actually harnesses power, and it actually multiplies power within the frequency of those geometric shapes. And school is out for the rest of the year. Well, we gonna see. Read his, you said read his note pages on 447. um 447. Yeah, you know what? I read this, and when I read it, I was so hurt. I really was. I was so hurt. AIDS taking heavy toll of children. An acquired deficiency syndrome is striking many more children than previously thought. The WHO, which is the World Health Organization, reported the UN agency said in Geneva that the HIV virus causes AIDS will probably affect 10 million children by the year 2000. Already about 400,000 cases, or a third of the 1.2 million estimated cases of AIDS worldwide today, are believed to have occurred in children under age 5, right? Now, this is what got me his notes. Watch this. I'm confused. Are we to believe that these 400,000 children are practicing homosexuals or IV drug users? This is what he's saying. Or that 400,000, one third of their mothers transmit the disease? Or is it more likely that they were neither part of, let me see, the high risk group nor born of mothers with AIDS, meaning, of course, that one third babies, which means one third of the moms equals two-thirds of total AIDS population. No one is making this claim. These data, if valid, this is what he said, these data, if valid, come close to proving that AIDS is transmittable by casual contact and or insects. He basically, this is what he was saying for those of you who don't understand. Because remember, because you have to also remember too, this is what he said. And for those of you who are a part of the LGBT community, let me make it plain. At this time, and you have to understand, at this time when they still when the like low level, and I have to say it like this because there's no disrespect, but the low level doctors who really did not know what AIDS and HIV really was, and they was trying to figure it out and how to combat it, right? So it was also, before it was AIDS or HIV, it was known as something called GRID, GRID, which literally was the acronym for gay related immune deficiency. Now, I didn't make this up. This is what it was called before it became HIV and AIDS, right? Again, so the acronym was GRID. So it was told to people that homosexuality was the beginning causes of uh, HIV and AIDS. This is what they said. I know, and but we all know that these things was laboratory. In my opinion, was laboratory made. Me allegedly, I feel like it was a laboratory made. Right? He said school is out for a month here in New York. Yeah, I don't like kids. I don't like my babies going to school either. I used to homeschool my children anyway. Um, yeah, yeah, Scorpio 16. Yeah, yeah, it was. I remember reading that. I do remember. This is the reason why he said, "Are they practicing homosexuals or IV drug users?" Or we can just, or we can even just say it like this: It's 400,000 children having sex. We know that that's a lie, and we're talking about under the age of 5. Come on, them babies don't even know what sex is. I know what he meant. Mm, trying to see. Y'all have no idea. He said 462. Never thought Dallas. uh, Yeah. That word indefinitely to me, I feel like they overuse that. Ain't don't indefinitely means forever, or do they mean until further notice? Let's see. All right, I'm about to end this live very soon. Oh, extraterrestrial expo. You know I love that extraterrestrial shit. Yes, I do. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I hate that indefinitely. I don't like that indefinitely. Mm-mm. I I could have sworn, and maybe I'm having a Mandela effect too, because I could have sworn that I remember looking as a kid that word up in the dictionary, hearing that it meant forever. Hmm. Yeah. Yes, Bo. Bo says my sister said the public transportation will not be in use indefinitely, and I asked her the same thing. That means forever. She said that was the terminology they used. That's what I always thought. When I know what infinity. I know infinity means forever, but I'm just saying I could have sworn I remember as a kid looking indefinitely up. and seeing that it meant like forever. Well, you know, hey, I mean, it don't surprise me because remember when I was a kid, my birthstone was sapphire. Now they trying to say it's opal. I don't want that ugly ass stone. Nigga, give me my sapphire blue back. I remember the first day of the first the last wait. I remember the first day of um most of the first days of the cusps would start on the 24th. Now I see some people they saying the 21st and the 22nd. Almost of each month. Some months are different. I know like February and March. Cusps are different, something like that. Yeah, they do change the meaning all the time in Webster. That's they do. All right, y'all. I am definitely about to end this live because this thing is getting ready to die. Mm. Mm. Scorpio 16 says pages 462 and 464. Mm. So that's what I'm gonna do. So some of y'all can most likely pause it right now. If you want to read it, you can pause it. Right. And let's see if I can get it. So you can pause it to read that. You can pause it to read that. And you can pause it to read that. Um, that's fucked up. This alleged cross-dressing posse blanc motherfucker here. Anyway, okay. I gotta go, y'all. I love y'all. 19%. I did kind of good. Yep. From planet to planet, destroying all life. You definitely fucking right. Both says it's saying for an unlimited or unspecific period of time, but I've always grown up knowing that meant forever. That's what I thought, Bo. Currently working at a hospital in New York City. Mad, they still got us working. Jordan, my prayer is to you and everybody who works in the medical field. I really like my prayers for y'all because y'all gonna be exhausted. Y'all are gonna be exhausted and Jesus. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Please stay safe. I'm reading y'all stuff, but they ran into the right planet because they. Hmm. Mm. A lot of us seen mass confusion, Miss Tanya. A lot of us seen mass confusion. A lot of us was feeling that 2020 was going to be a very weird ass year, and it was gonna feel like somebody was playing fucking Jumanji. I really do. I again, I said this before, and I say this again. I wouldn't be surprised if this be the year that we start seeing shit like right before our faces, like people morphing and shit. You know, we always talking about them people who are lizards and shit. Mm. Uh, mm, mm. Yeah, that shift did start in the summer. It is happening, and we were born for such a time as this. Um, all right, my dears. I really care for y'all. You know I care for y'all. That's the book. Before I Carla Brown, you can't outrun this baby. You can't outrun this. I'm gonna end with this. This is the first part he's seeing, right? And I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat upon him was death, and hell followed with him. Power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth to kill with sword or sword, and with hunger, and with the beasts of the earth. Revelation 6:8. I'm just showing y'all, right? I like this. One basic truth can be used as a foundation for a mountain of lies. And if we dig deep down enough in the mountain of lies and bring out that truth to set it on the top of the mountain of lies, the entire mountain of lies will crumble underneath the weight of that one truth. And there is nothing more devastating than a structure of lies, than the revelation of the truth upon which the structure of lies was built. Because the shock waves, because the shock waves of the revelation of the truth reverberate and continue to reverberate throughout the earth for generations to follow, awakening even those people who had no desire to be awakened to the truth. Delema Duveris. Love y'all. Be safe. Be safe.